Well, hello and welcome. My name is Martin Lopez from Conscious Choosing, and I'm going to welcome you to another one of our quick video series that we do. We call them webinars sometimes, but people call them lunch and learns. But what they really are is they're an opportunity to find out more about conscious choosing for flow, transforming conflict into creativity. And as always, I'm joined by my mentor and my friend, the author of Conscious Choosing for Flow, Transforming Conflict into Creativity, Hayden. So please join me in welcoming Hayden.
Hey, Martine, good talking to you again. I always look forward to this interaction. So, let's jump in here so people get value, huh?
Absolutely. So in the last two video series that we did, our quick little lunch and learns, what we did is we spoke about the cycle of success, and that's the progressive cycle. And then we talked about, the last one, we talked about the cycle of failure, and that's the regressive cycle, right?
Right, and that started off with reptilian reactions, and we went through that cycle a bit. What we're going to do this time is focus on what is those reptilian reactions that we're talking about, and so that we can flush it out and make different choices in our lives.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. So the question
Okay.
is, what is a reptilian reaction?
There's actually a continuum from flight, we're totally checked out, we left, to just simply disengaging from the conversation or getting defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the freeze, which is we don't know what to do. We shut down. We're confused. We're in the freeze mode. Or the fight. From freeze, it goes to we just simply get aggressive. We want to get what we want, and then it moves on to judging others and blaming others and complaining about them, to simply just lashing out and exploding on other people. And if you look at this continuum,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, it's a continuum of lashing out verbally. But if you continue that continuum, then we get into domestic violence and people physically hurting each other, and it can go way out on the continuum. We're
Sure.
talking about the mental interaction and the way we speak and interact with each other. So we're keeping the continuum a little short
Okay.
rather than physical abuse here. And it will lead into physical abuse if we're lashing out, we're judging, and people are getting defensive, and there starts a fight.
Is that becomes the ultimate expression of this cycle is that getting physical?
Uh, Physical, mental, emotional,
Okay, yeah.
physical, physically aggressive. Uh, and when we look at the reptilian reactions, there was a reason for it, is for our survival as a species. If a saber-toothed tiger jumped out, we had, it sent a message to us that we're in danger, and there's this little shot of adrenaline that goes into our system to redirect our blood flow to our large muscle group so we could run fast, get
Uh-huh.
away from that, or we could fight. We could pick up stuff and defend ourselves. So it really worked when we were cavemen. But now that we're more civilized and, we're interacting at a different level, and we're not, attacking each other physically, we still attack each other mentally and emotionally. And we're bringing it down to we can make a different choice. Rather than lashing out or judging others, we can be more curious and ask and find out.
Hmm.
So we're just drawing attention to the reptilian reactions now, that if we lash out at someone else, it's almost like giving a felony level reaction to a misdemeanor if someone just questions our idea.
Hmm.
And then we just lash out. It's like, let's tone it down. Let's interact with each other at a level that works for the other person and not just us. So it does consider our interaction with others if we're going to make different choices. And so we can choose curiosity, or we can choose these reptilian reactions of just, our own survival, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical survival. So, let's look at these reptilian reactions. I imagine you're putting this up on a,
Yeah.
on a chart here so people can see it. Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, well, I definitely have that.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm hearing you saying is in the reptilian reactions, as we enter into the regressive cycle, it's not just a part of it. It actually continues through that whole part. Like every part of the cycle includes a reptilian mode or a reptilian reaction. Is that what you're saying?
Uh, yeah, defensiveness. We
Uh-huh.
have to self-protect, so we uh, don't talk to people, we avoid them, or we get aggressive, and it happens all along the way. And towards the end of the regressive cycle, you see we're stuck in a ditch with past difficulties. We're not speaking, we're not working through it, we're not addressing it, and we're stuck.
Okay.
Or we're stuck on future challenges because we don't know how to work with these people, and it's affecting the very bottom line in our company or our relationship with someone else.
That's terrific. So the point, yeah, absolutely. So the point I really want to get clear is that whether we're experiencing a lack of respect and safety, or we're stalled out for future challenges, they all include some degree of a reptilian reaction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if we're going to get unstuck, we're going to get out of that, we have to pause, realize what's going on, self-monitor, use the curious ABC pause, and acknowledge what's going on with me, breathe, and get curious and start asking questions to create some freedom or create some safety for others and some respect, start showing respect so that we get respect as well.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm thinking about something you talked about last time. You talked about that Daniel Yankelovich thing, and we talked about the 70% of the people aren't really giving a lot of effort in that Gallup poll. And I'm
Uh-huh.
looking at this like bare minimum effort is like the third part of the regressive cycle. So I'm thinking if I'm not giving something a whole lot of effort, I could be checked out. I could be in freeze mode.
I could be, or, you know, uh, there's a saying, some people have more power than others in corporations because of their title.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part of that saying is no one is powerless.
No one's powerless.
Even the first day of an employee, he can sabotage an event, not work with people, not communicate. So no one is powerless. We all have an effect on the bottom line of the company and the work environment in which we operate.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
the person that sells coffee at the front, the greeter at Walmart, the checker at at Costco or something, they all affect our experience and
Our
how we.
reputation, how the world sees us as a company. Yeah, and if we're taking their feelings and needs seriously, and we're curious about them, I don't know about you, but that really works when people take my feelings and needs seriously, and they're curious and they ask. That works for me. When people ignore them and tell me what to do, it's like, that doesn't work so well for me.
Am I going to fight you? Am I going to run? Or am I just going to sit here and look at you like you're crazy?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the reptilian reactions. I'll give you an example from my past. When I was a kid, I grew up 2 miles outside New York City,
Okay.
and my father was a preacher. And so, we had certain requirements of us as preacher kids that was a little challenging sometimes because we had to look good and we had to not do things that would embarrass our parents and stuff. And as I was growing up, my parents made demands on me. Like, you need to stop hanging out with those friends that are getting in trouble all the time. You need to do better at school. You need to be a good example of a preacher's kid and stuff. And
Son of a preacher man.
yeah, son of a preacher man. Hey, there's a song like that, isn't there? So it's like, boy, it just grated on me. I wanted my independence. I wanted autonomy. And as I got older and I graduated from high school, it was like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
So, at 18-year-old, my mind hasn't developed completely. And I got into this reptilian reaction and saying, I'm had enough. I want autonomy. I want you to respect me. So I got on my 650 Triumph motorcycle.
Oh,
I
nice.
drove it through the back of the house, got it through the
What a good
doorway,
idea.
drove it through the hallway, and they were wondering, what is going on in this house? My father comes running, my mother comes in, I'm driving it out the front door, and I wave goodbye to my angry father and my upset mother, like, what's going on here? I made a statement, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and they didn't hear from me for years. I, went from New York City down to Florida, and I drove around. You know, that caused real separation between me and my parents. That was a strategy I used to get autonomy, and that was reptilian. That's the fight response and the flight response all rolled in. You know, that was my strategy. I could have used a different strategy to have a conversation with my folks about respect for me, what I wanted, and have a conversation with them, but I didn't choose to do that. I chose to make a statement by driving my motorcycle through the house and leaving. If we think about us as human beings, when people agitate us, they frustrate us, how do we respond to it? Do we respond in kind? We get aggressive with them, people judge us, then we start judging them, and we're throwing these mud blobs or these mud at each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
When people judge us, if we could pause and ask a question, I'm curious, what has you think that? It starts the conversation at a new level. And Reptilian Reactions is not about collaboration and enjoying our work with each other. It's about survival,
Yes.
our own survival. And when we're focused on our own survival, it affects other people negatively.
That's
So,
a brilliant. That's a great story. First off, wow, that's crazy going through the house with the motorcycle.
and you're a parent, and I'm a parent. Do we want our kids to do that?
Yeah.
Heck no.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to interact with them. And it was a different time period when I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parents interacted with their kids differently, and there's a lot more information available. We need to pay attention to what's going on with our kids and respect them also.
Yeah, and I think that we're lucky that we have this opportunity to look at this stuff. But as a globe, as a world, there's a lot of places still living in that time, the 60s and the 70s and 40s and the 1800s and the 1700s, that way of approaching life and that hierarchy, if you will.
Yeah,
So
different cultures out there. I feel really blessed. I was born and raised in the United States.
yeah,
We're developing as a country. We're showing respect. The civil rights movement. It's about showing respect and
yeah.
making it safe for everybody.
But it's
And
yeah.
that's what we're doing.
But that safety and respect, if you go back and you think about just the movies that we've seen, because we obviously didn't get to experience the 1800s, but if you look at the different movies that are made out there, the conflict is always a result of a respect or a safety issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-protecting. Yeah, that's pretty tremendous. What I love mostly for me about conscious choosing for flow is I learn to put the words to the emotions that you're talking about and words to the needs, and that alone has made the biggest difference in my life.
Yeah. If we can say what's going on with us and collaborate with others at a different level, our lives really improve.
I'd be
So
curious.
this
Yeah,
is about improving our lives if we have a different awareness and we can make different choices and we know what those choices are. And that's what this book is about. The training we do, it's about having a new awareness so we can make different choices. Curiosity helps us find different choices, making different choices. Curious, reptilian reaction. At least we know what they are and we can consciously do them consciously.
yeah.
Most reptilian reactions are unconscious, so we're raising it to a level of consciousness so we can consciously choose to be in flow with everyone else we work with and live with.
Who doesn't want to be in the zone? Who doesn't want to be in flow, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
So I hope this was descriptive of what fight, flight, and freeze is so that people can say, do I want to lash out or do I want to ask a question and collaborate? It's a new level of collaboration that we're preaching out here.
You know what I
You know,
appreciate is that maybe the first aspect of that is, do I want to represent myself this way, or is this the way I want to relate to what's going on in the situation? And then you then look at the other person, is this the way that I'm interested in that person relating back to me?
yeah, no, people just do what they're doing, and we have an opportunity to trigger them to a safe and respectful way or trigger them to a fight, flight, or freeze response. And we're triggering people with the words we're saying, our facial expressions, our tone of voice. Are we starting a fight or are we starting a new level of collaboration and that's respectful and safe? So, that's the choices we're bringing out there so that you can make choices that benefit your life and those around you.
It's a great question to ask out there. So
Uh-huh.
thank you all out there for spending this last 14, 15 minutes with us. And if you have any questions or you want to find out more about the book Conscious Choosing for Flow, Transforming Conflict into Creativity, or just get a hold of Hayden, please go to our website, consciouschoosing.com. And there's different ways to connect with us there. And if you want to bring conscious choosing to your company, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to spend some time talking to you a little bit about the difference we could make and the contribution we can make to your company.
Great. Thanks a lot, Martine. Appreciate the time you spent with me today.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Hayden. We'll see you guys
Bye-bye.
later. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.